Namaskaram. Have you heard about the mythical story of Samudra Manthan? Right. This particular story is connected in many ways to the Diwali which is being celebrated now. Okay, so let us look at the story. The story goes like long time ago. Devas and Asuras decided to churn the Milky Ocean. For what? For the nectar of immortality. They wanted to become immortal. So they decided to churn the Milky Ocean. Now, let us look at the yogic significance behind Devas, Asuras, and churning of the Milky Ocean. Milky Ocean here represents our mind and our consciousness. This is represented by the Milky Ocean. Then we have got Devas and Asuras. Devas means your own good qualities. Qualities like determination, willpower, all these things are good qualities within us. Right? So Devas are representation of the good qualities within us. Now you have got Asuras. Asuras are the bad qualities within us. These are like greed, jealousy. These are like bad qualities within us. Now, so you have got Devas and Asuras. Now they have to churn the Milky Ocean to get the nectar of immortality. Now, to churning the ocean, you need some machinery. This is real heavy equipment you need, right? Because it's an ocean which you have to churn. So, what is the equipment they use? The first thing is that they have to get a mountain. Okay, it's called the Mandara mountain. Now, what does that mountain represent? Mountain is like this. Okay, it has got a peak. So, what does that peak represent? It represents concentration. In our yogic practices, normally concentration and things come with meditation. So it is associated with yogic meditation or yogic practices. Okay, the mountain represents yogic practices. Then you have got a rope. You have to get a rope. So that you cannot get a rope that big to churn an ocean, right? So they had to go and get the help of a big serpent, the biggest serpent in the world. Okay, it's called Vasuki serpent. Now the serpent represents what? The serpent represents desire, passion, these kind of things. Without desire and passion, nothing can be achieved. You have to have desire, you have to have passion, you have to be passionate about things. Only then you can achieve something, right? So for desire and passion has to be there. And desire and passion is represented by the serpent. This long, huge serpent. Okay, so now they have the mountain and they have the serpent. Now you're going to churn the ocean. So this mountain has to be kept in the ocean. It has to be kept up. How do you keep the mountain up? You have to have a stable surface. To get the stable surface, they used a giant tortoise or tortoise, right? And this tortoise is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu himself. Lord Vishnu, or we call in Hinduism the sustainer. So Vishnu comes as a tortoise. Now the tortoise represents a lot of things. One is stability. The other thing is, what is the quality of a tortoise? Whenever it sees danger, it can withdraw its limbs and head inside its shell. It goes inside the shell, right? So that is one of the qualities of the tortoise. So how does that equate into our normal life? The tortoise represents our ability to withdraw our senses into ourselves, right? So we are not in control, or the senses are not in control of us. We are 100% in control of the senses. That is represented by the tortoise. In yogic philosophy, it is also pratyahara. Okay, pratyahara means control of the senses, okay, or withdrawal of the senses. Okay, that is pratyahara. Now the churning starts. Okay, devas on one side, asuras on one side, this churning starts. Now the first thing that comes out of the churning of the ocean is what? First thing which comes out is halahala visha, visha or poison. And this halahala visha has the capability of one drop can destroy the whole world. It is so poisonous, right? So first thing that comes out is this particular poison. Now, what does this poison represent? Right? This poison represents our, deep. All of us have got certain cravings. Okay, certain cravings, certain bad habits. All of these things are there. So when we start on a yogic process or a yogic journey, all these bad habits or cravings and things like that pop up first up. Okay, and these cravings, if not controlled, can destroy you, literally destroy you. And this is the time when you have to be very, very careful. So when halahala visha comes out of the churning of the ocean, somebody has to save the world. And who comes to save the world? None other than Shiva. Sorry. Shiva comes to save the world. And Shiva is a representation of what? Vairagya or detachment. Shiva is also considered an eternal yogi or the first yogi, I would say. Right? And he is a renunciant. He is not attached to anything. Right? That is represented by the ashes all over him. Right? So he is not attached to anything. Whether it is body, whether it is wealth, whether it is people around him, he is not attached to that. Right? So Shiva is a representation of Vairagya or non-attachment within us. So if we have to cover the issue of this poison coming out, these cravings coming out, which is really poisonous and can destroy our life, we have to cultivate non-attachment to these external factors. And this non-attachment to external factors can be cultivated only with the practice of yoga. And also here, the help of a guru, not a normal guru, okay, with a genuine guru. The help of a genuine guru will be really, really helpful when these kind of bad habits suddenly pop up. You might be thinking, oh, I'm doing yoga practice. Suddenly, why am I getting, sensual desires? Why am I getting that desire, this desire? It is quite natural, right? But with yogic practices, slow and steady, okay, we can cover these issues. And if you have a guidance of a guru, it becomes easier. Okay? It is only a natural process. Okay, then the churning continues. The churning continues, then you see wonderful things coming out. Right? What comes out next is like Kamadhenu, okay, wish fulfilling cow. Then you have got wish fulfilling tree. These wonderful things, what do they represent? Yoga, meditation, these kind of practices has got the power to grant what you wish. Right? Whatever you wish, you can gain, because you're gaining power of your mind and consciousness. Once your mind, consciousness, everything acts in one direction, nothing can contravene your progress. Okay? Whatever you wish starts coming true. It is represented by Kamadhenu and the wish fulfilling tree, Kalpavriksha. Okay. Then towards the end of the process, you see goddess Lakshmi coming out. Goddess Lakshmi or the goddess of wealth. Now here, the wealth means not just money. Wealth means also knowledge, spiritual knowledge and other types of knowledge. Okay, that is Lakshmi coming out. So when we celebrate Diwali, we celebrate or we worship Lakshmi. So here we should be worshipping not just money, which is represented by coins and gold and all that. You should also worship the knowledge. Okay, then the next thing we have is the god of health, Dhanvantari comes out. Okay, Dhanvantari comes out along with Lakshmi. So Dhanvantari, what does Dhanvantari represent? Dhanvantari represents health. And along with Dhanvantari, he brings the pot of Amrita. Amrita is the pot of immortality. So Dhanvantari comes out with bringing good health to all of us, along with the pot of Amrita or the pot of immortality. Right? So this is the whole process. So yesterday we celebrated Dhanteras. Right? So what does that represent? It is representation of or the worship of God Dhanvantari or the god of Ayurveda. Ayurveda is one of the oldest form of medicine in the world. Again, it is one of the most effective forms of medicine in the world. And Dhanvantari is the god of Ayurveda. Right? And we celebrated or we worship him yesterday in Dhanteras. Okay. And then we have got Lakshmi Puja, whereby we are worshipping wealth or the goddess of wealth. So when we worship goddess of wealth, think about not just money but also about knowledge, preferably the knowledge of yoga. Okay, so what we are saying during Deepavali, when you celebrate Deepavali, think about all these things. Okay, and yoga is something which helps you achieve wealth as well as good health. Namaskaram.